I represent the 31st Congressional District. Over 5 years ago, I filed a bill to try to get those who were killed and injured in the Hassan shooting here at Fort Hood the benefits that they were entitled to, in my opinion. We continue to file this bill over and over and over, and now we're here to announce we have been successful to get the proper language in the authorization bill for the armed services, which will allow the medals to be awarded with the benefits that attach thereto to the individuals who were killed or wounded here at Fort Hood. Recently with my new colleague, Roger Williams, and he has been a tiger to fight along beside me to get this done.
Thank you, Congressman. I want to also thank both Senator Cornyn and Senator Cruz and Congressman Carter for his leadership and for all the efforts that everybody's done to bring a glimpse of justice to the men and women whose lives were affected by the unthinkable attack in Fort Hood on November 5th, 2009. It is clear that the man responsible for the death of 13 innocent and 1 unborn lives and injury to dozens more was motivated by his religious extremist ideas. Leading up to his trial, we began to realize that even more of his spotted past, like letters to leaders and members of foreign terrorist organizations, his disgust of the American nationality and military clothing, his pleading to ISIS leaders and other terrorist groups, but because his horrible crime occurred right here on American soil, and supposedly because he acted alone, the White House considers his terrorist-motivated attack a case of workplace violence rather than a terrorist attack. The victims of the attack have suffered physically, mentally, and financially. Many of the injured to pay tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars out of their own pocket for treatment, and that is not fair. My friend Sergeant Alonzo Lunsford, who was shot 7 times, struggled to receive proper treatment for PTSD due to the White House's designation of workplace violence. This bicameral bipartisan bill provides authorization for awarding the Purple Heart to members of the armed forces killed or wounded in a domestic attack inspired by a foreign terrorist organization, or in other words, against an enemy of the United States. See and ask any of the victims if they'd like to step up and say something, we'd be honored.
My name is Howard Ray. I was a sergeant on post that horrific day, November 5th, 2009, when the terrorists in Al Hassan came in and murdered 13 men and women, soldiers, civilians, and wounded countless others without regard for their life. I can say that this day has been long overdue. And I have a special thanks to give to the families who were strong enough to be here today, strong enough to have the courage to petition their government for the right things that are due these men and women that gave so much that day. I also give a special thanks to Congressman Roger Williams, Congressman John Carter, Senator John Cornyn, Senator Ted Cruz, for their support, for them hearing the cries of the men and women of our armed forces, our civilians, answering that call and going forward with legislation that would indeed at least give these men and women the awards and benefits due them.